Well, good morning from the Arizona Trail. Can look back there, sun's just starting to rise, pretty nice. And I'm hiking this little chunk of ground between Bear Canyon and Kentucky Camp. And if you look right behind me back there over my shoulder, see that? That is a piece of pipe they had buried here in order to, we're talking they brought water from a long ways away to mine over there at Kentucky Camp. That's about 3 miles away, so I think basically I've been walking about 5 miles on that water system. And you can see there's like this, like a raised, like a road thing they built here, sort of a deal. Invested $250,000 back in the late 1800s to do this. And in the end, they only mined a couple $1,000s worth of gold. So that's your rule of life, is never invest in a gold mining operation. Because those guys lost a lot of money back in those days. $250,000 in those days, gee, many Christmas. That'd be like many millions nowadays anyway, for sure. It's kind of fun, they've got these little kiosks along here that you can read the story, which is really cool. I would not have got as much out of it if I hadn't had them. There's one right here, you can see it right here, crossing the bedrock. Pretty cool how they got, this is a neat story how they did it. Gold mine was rather robust, but the engineering project was pretty cool. Well, at Gardner Canyon back there where I spent the night, we just crossed the line into Passage 5, which is the Santa Catalina Mountains. It's about 15-mile long passage, more or less. Been seeing a couple deer out here this morning. It's been kind of nice to see wildlife. And yeah, kind of the drill. That's what we're up to. Pretty easy hike, particularly this first couple miles, because you're still in that. You're still in the ditch from that mine, you know. And yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Pretty mountains all over the place. Plan is if we can do this, we'll hike today and then we'll hike tomorrow. And I'll go over and see my friends, Wayne and Rachel. See them for a weekend. Haven't seen those guys for a while now. It's been, gosh, 2 years probably since we've seen them. They were good friends back in the cancer days. She brought me by a meal every week. But yeah, and then Wayne, he'd come over there and he'd get me out of the blooming, he'd get me out of there and make me walk. Well, I tell you what, that guy, honestly, in some ways, he was a part of me getting strong enough to, actually want to even do this kind of thing at all. He'd take me out there to the Arboretum. He'd walk about 3 times as fast as I want to walk. And we'd go up the hills, down the hills, and I'd have got my exercise. That would have been good. Ah, look at that, sun's coming up. Good thing, because you know what? It's cold out here this morning. I could use a little bit of sun. It'd be okay. It'd be just okay with me. I like it when the sun first rises in the morning. Beautiful to be out in the woods when that happens. Pretty darn nice. A little bit of a road walk today, it looks like, which is fine for me. I don't need to be out hiking hard trails. Give me a nice straight level road. I'll be happy as can be. Happy as a clam. I don't know, how happy are clams? I don't know. Anyway, kind of see the country. It's pretty, you know, not a lot of, it's kind of flat. You know, it's deserty for sure. It'd be dry if it wasn't winter time. There's water down in that canyon right now. But otherwise it would be a dry thing. All these trees you see that look kind of dead and dry around me, that's mesquite. That kind of thing, I'll tell you what, it's got more thorns than you can shake a stick at. One thing you would definitely not ever want to do is to fall into one of them things. bad news. Now, if you look over here, kind of behind me that way, over there, there's some mountains. You can barely see them way over there. Those mountains are where we're headed. That's Mica Peak over there. It's Saguaro National Park is there. A number of things to see along the way, which would be fun to see all that. Saguaro National Park is beautiful. Oh, sorry. Figured it out. It ain't Fish Creek, it's called Fish Canyon. So I guess it don't need to be a creek or fish. Anyhow, yeah. So this is what it looks like down here in Fish Canyon. Kind of neat. I mean, see up here in a second as we come across here, there's big wide meadows of grass down in the bottom down here. Pretty cold. See the mountains up there where we was at yesterday. That's kind of nice. Pretty nice place back there that was. Now we've hiked out here into this great big old flat country. Kind of nice. I suspect that at Fish Canyon, if you go all the way up there, clear up there at the mountains where that snow is back there, what you'd probably see is that there's pools of water and there probably is fish. Supposedly there's a cutthroat trout that lives down in this country. They call it the Gila River cutthroat trout.